Howdy, howdy, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastic, and welcome back to Stranded Deep. Yes, in conversation. Yes, you heard me right. In conversation. We are conversing today. And no one has conversed before. Some people say, hey, I could talk for hours. I say I can talk for at least 20 minutes at a time. Yeah. It's just kind of how I'm cool like that, you know. I got the wits, the skills to talk for some time. I yawn too much, though, so it's kind of difficult. I don't know why I do that. Sometimes even when I'm just like singing to myself, and I'm just like not singing, but like just kind of like mouthing the words, it makes me yawn. Just talking, just opening my mouth makes me yawn. I'm a really tired person. Like when it's really warm out, I get really tired. Like these past few days, I've been fucking exhausted. That's half the reason why I didn't stream on Tuesday, and I apologize, but I'm glad y'all liked the stuff that I was putting out anyhow, so I'm glad that was enough to make up for it. But yeah, so we'll be back to the regular schedule from here on out. I just wanted to take a couple days. I was off that Tuesday. I just figured, you know, I just kind of wanted to sit that day down. Just enjoy it, and I had a lot of fun, and I just had a nice relaxing time. So I hope y'all enjoyed your week so far. Easter's coming up. Easter's pretty cool. I don't have today's not about Easter. You can literally see that in the title. I don't know why I keep things a secret, because the title just gives it away. I should upload these with a false title for the first couple minutes until it's like out for the public, as long as it takes for someone to watch up to that point, and then I swap it as like a gotcha moment, you know. And then people refresh their page. That's not what the title's called. It says Easter Fun Time, but no, it's my son, or that's my son. And then you refresh the page, and you're like, what the fuck? How'd that get there? It wasn't like that before. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, this phone on your head. But yeah, Easter's cool. I maybe I'll talk about it next week. I didn't really, you know, you'd think with the amount of time I've had to decide on what to talk about, you think I would have talked about the holiday that's coming up, but no, I'm a dope. And I don't do things smart. So we're not talking about Easter today. Suck it. Yeah, I hope you're all enjoying your day. I know I am. I can't believe that it's the 6th, and it's the first Thursday of April. That is insane to think about. I'm like pretty sure that's correct too. Yeah, it is. Wow, crazy, right? It's weird, yeah. How does Easter work? Like, is it the second Sunday of every year? Because that doesn't make sense then. Because last year my sister's birthday landed on Easter, but hers is the 17th. So a week after it would have been the 10th, and then a week before that would have been a 3rd. So there was enough room for 3 Easters, 3 Sundays. But this year it's the second Sunday. So I don't understand how it works. I don't know how Easter works. How does Easter work? I need to actually Google this. I'm sorry. I don't understand how Easter works. How to tell when a mango is ripe, a pineapple is ripe, when shrimp is done, when cheesecake is done, when someone is lying. It's a lot of ripe questions. How to tell when Easter. Easy Bake Oven is ready. True. It's the first Sunday after the full moon that occurs on or after the spring equinox. What kind of specific bullshit is that? Easter always falls on the first after the first full moon following the spring equinox, and just as the dates of full moons differ by the years, so does Easter. So if right before the spring equinox we have a full moon, then Easter is going to take a whole month. It's going to be the end of April. When was the latest time Easter was in March? No, not March. Can you have Easter in March? Sunday, April 6th. Really? That's the latest one? Well, hey, that was our Easter. What was the latest Easter in history? May 8th, 1983, and May 8th, 2078? Oh. Like, people can just tell? I guess, yeah. You know how moon works. So in 2078, we're going to be tied. For whatever reason, I said, what was the last time? Oh, because it just looked up last year's Easter. Today we're talking about the sun. Fuck whatever the hell I was talking about. Easter? No one cares about Easter. I do. I mean, I don't care that much. I like the holiday. I like spending time with my family. But other than that, it's kind of just a holiday, you know. But I respect it and I like it. Eggs. I don't really care for eggs. I don't like hard-boiled eggs. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if I like hard-boiled eggs. I haven't tried them, but they just, the rubbery nature of them is disgusting to me. But at the same time, I've had deviled eggs, and they're also pretty rubbery, but they're good. They taste nice. So, who's to say? Not me. But today we're talking about the sun, damn it. Nothing about it, you know. We're not talking about how I don't think it's real. I think it's real. Unlike the moon, I think the sun is very real. There's really nothing to disprove that idea. The moon has its origins in falsehoods and lies and deceit. So it's easy to dispute that sort of stuff sometimes. But, you know, the sun, that's been here for decades at least. So, you know, you can't really knock it because we can't try it. So, but yeah, today we're talking about how the sun impacts me directly. You know, because I'm the most important person on the planet, so it only makes sense. And I gotta say, the sun fucking blows. I hate it. I much prefer winter or just the colder seasons in general. I think fall is probably peak world. Fall is peak world unequivocally. I think I'm using that word right. But I love fall just because it's nice and breezy. There's not too much sun. It's just cold. It's nice. It's good stuff. You know what I hate about the spring and summer? The sun. The sun can suck it. I don't care that pretty much all of my family's birthdays fall in the warmer months. I don't care. I think it's bogus. I hate it. I don't think that there could be a worse holiday. I don't think a holiday. A time to be alive. And for people who like me, who are pale as fuck, I'm hoping that you understand exactly where I'm coming from. Because let me tell you something. It sucks being, you know, a story? Oh. What the fuck? Okay, but either way. But yeah, like, it just kind of blows, you know, being pale with the sun kind of leads to, you know, melting a lot. Which is like, that's really great. I'm really glad I'm out here. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes the weather is pretty nice during these times. And it's like, oh hey, I could, you know, I can take a seat, I can enjoy myself, I can walk somewhere today. And then you do, and then you realize just how stupid that decision was. It fucking sucked. It was a dumb decision. You're dumb for thinking it was a good idea. How do I get clay? I don't know. I have a tanning rack? But either way, I regress. The sun. Its harsh radiation melts my skin. And it sucks. Just yesterday, and I'm not even joking about this, literally just yesterday, I went outside. Imagine this is me, alright? If you're looking at the game, if you're not, I'm inside of a building right now. Imagine me opening the door and walking outside. You realize it is a breezy, cloudy, but sunny day. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is good weather. It's not like it's not like skin meltingly hot. And keep in mind, as some pretext, I just bought sunscreen the other day, literally the day before that. But I forgot to put it on or even bring some with me, because I'm an idiot. I'm a dope, I'm a dummy, I'm a big stupid guy. And I go to this walk, and I'm like, 'cause I'm walking to work, and I'm like, okay, it's like a 45-minute walk. I mean, I didn't put sunscreen on. This is the first time all like year that I didn't bring a sweater to work. I didn't wear a sweater. It's getting hot, so you're not gonna wear a sweater. You're stupid if you do. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna walk and see how it goes. And then like a third of the way into the walk, I'm like, ah shit, I forgot my sunscreen. It's fine, whatever. I'll last. And I get to work, and like how it always goes for me, I appear fine. I don't get how, I don't get why, but every time I go out into sun, I look fine until I get out of the sun, at which point my body gives itself the appropriate amount of time to start reddening up like a fucking apple. And that's exactly what it did to my right arm specifically. My left arm is pretty fine because the left arm wasn't towards the sun. The right arm was towards the sun. And as a result, pretty much the top like third of my arm and like my forearm is just red and itchy, and I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I don't know. It's literally, and keep in mind, it wasn't even like blisteringly sunny. It was a cloudy day. If I looked up towards the sun, I couldn't really see it through the clouds. So the fact that I still got sunburned, even like a little bit, after 45 minutes of just walking in the sun, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know what's wrong with my body. It just doesn't like the sun, like, at all. Like, if it had a choice, it would rather die than live in the sun for more than a couple hours. And I feel like it's very true. I feel like I have to have skin cancer at this point. Like, I'm not even saying that as just a joke. Like, as a kid, I loved going outside. You know, outside was the fun time. It was time for boys and girls to cheer and be near and just do dumb shit, like throw rocks at each other. Did that a lot. It was pretty fun. But one thing that we did in particular was just kind of be out in the park, you know, for a few hours and no sunscreen. Or sometimes I put sunscreen on at the beginning of the day, but I wouldn't think to reapply it. Or we'd go to the beach, put sunscreen on, and my mom would be like, yeah, put more on. I'm like, okay. Nothing fucking helps. If I'm outside in the sun for more than an hour, my entire body just shrivels up like a prune and just becomes this nasty, disgusting thing. But only once the sun is gone. Like, I've been to the beach for a long time. Like, not like I've been going for years. Like, I've been to the beach for long periods of time because either my friends went out or like we were there for like 4th of July or just something crazy. We were there for like hours and hours and hours into the night. And I look fine until I get home. And then my skin goes from, you know, this nice, just pasty white man to the freaking Kool-Aid man in the amount of red and just crisp, tasty freshness that my body is trying to create. It is a miracle that I'm alive. And there's almost no way that I, in my eyes, I don't have some sort of skin cancer growing on my body. But hey, you know, we'll find out as the years go by. And yeah, it's kind of just how it is, I guess. But one thing that really took the cake for me, like, I think the worst, I've had really bad sunburns, like almost every year I have a really bad sunburn, because sometimes I forget to put on sunscreen, and I'm outside for, you know, half an hour, and my body decides, okay, this is the time we get to burn you now. You fucked up. This isn't our fault. This ain't our bad. This is you're stupid. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll say it. Fair enough. And I've had some really, really bad sunburns, like on my face and arms, and sometimes my legs if I wear shorts. I don't wear shorts outside for that specific reason, because I don't want to get burnt. It's gross. Getting burnt sucks. So I don't like doing it on my legs. I guess I'd rather sweat than be burnt to a crisp. So that's just kind of how it is. That's why I tend to wear sweaters outside too during the summer. But You know, it's the one time I decide, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know, I gotta work. You know, I probably don't want to be a sweaty mess by the time I get there. It didn't help. I was still sweaty and I was burnt. So, I mean, it was a good day yesterday. But, yeah, I mean, just most days, honestly. It's pretty rough in terms of the old skin. And there was one day in particular that was really bad. And it was a field day. For those of you who haven't had field days in school, it essentially is your class and a few others, usually a couple grades, will will have planned this well in advance. So you bring a bunch of stuff, and essentially the whole idea is you take a field trip to a park, and they have a bunch of games set up and a bunch of like sports balls and rackets and stuff, and you can just have fun. And you can bring your own stuff. You can, but the main thing is you bring your own blanket or towel or whatever. You make yourself a little spot on the field, and then you could do whatever the fuck you want with your friends. It's effectively the idea. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love field days because it's a day outside. I love being outside. I love just doing dumb shit. I love being active and jumping around like a maniac. Like, I just am not very, my body isn't very fond of being active and jumping around like a maniac. But that's besides the point. The main point, obviously, is the whole ow my skin part. And I knew this well into even starting going to field days, that my skin burnt like crisp. So I would always bring sunscreen. I'd always bring a hat. I'd always bring just anything I could possibly think of to try to assist me. But then the day would come, and I would kind of just forget about it. Like, I'd put sunscreen on, and then I'd come back, and I'd be burnt to a crisp. Somehow every other kid, every other one, was fine. Was completely fine. The sun did not hurt them at all. I might be a vampire. I might just be a vampire. That might just be how it is. Like, every other kid, maybe they got like a little bit of sunburn. I was always this beet red monster. Like, you'd think that like a termite or a tick just like attached itself to me in the night and just stole all my blood, and it was enough to just shape him into a giant human being, and he just lived on my life for me. Because there's no other explanation. There's just because it was just so red. It was insane. And I would just come back looking at it crisp. And that's the thing. Because you wouldn't really... You'd come home, you come back to school after a field day. And there'd be like a couple hours left, and you kind of just be like dicking around. Like, alright, find something to do. Play computers, just sit down, or put on a movie, whatever. And I'm fine, not red at all, until we get back into the school. Then we get back into the school, and my arms start shooting red and getting super hot and itchy. And it's just, ugh. And my teachers sometimes would get scared for me, because they'd see that and they'd be like, what the fuck is happening to you? Obviously not like with the swears, I was like in 4th grade. But yeah, they didn't understand. And this was at a time as well, at least up until the end of 4th grade, I had long hair. And then I cut it at the end of 4th grade, and I cut it until like middle of high school, pretty short. So for the rest of field days from 4th grade onward, I would also inherit another spot to get burnt, the back of my neck. The one spot I never thought to think of because I didn't have to. I had fucking hair there, so it kind of just blocked it itself. That's kind of like that. It's kind of why I like the long hair now. Not just because it looks fucking awesome. I'm kidding. I'm partially kidding. I think it looks good. I don't think I'm that. I don't think it's that good. I can just say it's fucking awesome. But either way, I didn't have to worry about that as a kid because it was just my neck covered. I'm fine. And 5th grade rolls around, field day, whatever, have some fun, do some hacky sacking, get burnt, the usual. It's kind of just, that was the usual. 6th grade, however, was probably the worst I've ever been burnt alive. For one major reason, and that's that I started forming a blister. Like not just like a tiny little baby blister, you know, like I burnt my hand on the stove, oh, there's a little blister on my finger. No. It was not just that. It was the fucking biggest blister I've ever seen personally on a person ever. And it was, as I just mentioned, on the back of my neck. Because I didn't think that sunscreen, I kind of just forgot to put sunscreen on there. Because I didn't have to worry about that for so long in my childhood. Literally until 9 years old, I didn't really use sunscreen in the back of my neck. And I started having to, and I kept forgetting. And I was like, oh shit, well, what are you gonna do? And what I did was fucking hurt a lot, just because of the heat alone. But then there was this blister forming on the back of my neck, and it just kept growing. Like I was like half scared, half like just curious as to how fucking large it would go, because it just kept fucking growing. I don't understand how or why. Well, I do get how, the sun. I do get why, the sun, but it was a wacky time. It was gross. And like, this thing probably lasted on my neck for weeks. For like at least 2 or 3 weeks. And it just kept growing. Like, not like to the size of like a fist, but it was like considerably large blister. Like, if you like, I'm trying to think of what could be in relation to it. I guess like, hold on. I got this thing. Hold on, let me activate the camera. I've got... Oh wait, there's a cap on it too. You wouldn't be able to... Fucking... the things that I do. This thing. It's not showing. It's not... Oh, because straight... No, camera should be on top. Blip. Blip. Aha! Like... This... Well, the size is kind of relative to how big I put it to the camera. Imagine if you would, like, fuck, I don't know. It was big. It was like take your hand and take your, like, do you like the OK symbol? Like the OK symbol. For me, like, the size of, like, the circle there in the OK symbol, like a tiny bit bigger, that is effectively the size of that blister that was on the back of my neck. Towards the end of its existence. It was nasty. The vacuum just vomited onto the carpet because it's just so disturbed by the things that I just said. And yeah, I mean, apologies again for vacuum. But yeah, it was gross. It was absolutely disgusting. It was downright deplorable and how disgusting it was. And I just kind of lived with it. I didn't try to make it go away. I didn't try to poke at it. I didn't really poke at it much. I did poke at it sometimes, and it was just a weird sack of pus, so it was very bizarre. Like, I started feeling like I was growing another head, so it just gets so large. One of my classmates started poking at it and thinking it was cool. She was weird. She was fun though. She was weird. That was a weird thing she did. I don't get why. She was fascinated with that sort of stuff. Like, she literally like watched like eyeball surgery. Like for days when we had the computers, she would just go on YouTube or whatever like actual like safety like actual website people can go on videos for. I guess it's like a doctor website, and just look up eye surgeries and shit. She's fucking crazy. But she's an interesting person. Very interesting person. But she'd fucking poke at my blister and be like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? That's so gross. Wow. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's on me. I practically have given birth to a sack of pus in the back of my neck. And it kept going. For almost a month. It just kept growing. Until one day, I wake up, and I'm like, oh, hey, my neck doesn't hurt as much. Because if I, like, looked too far up, it would, like, put pressure on the blister, and it would hurt like a bitch. So I kind of just had to stare forward a lot. But I guess in my sleep, I either did that, or I just kind of rolled over it. Because I look, I feel like, oh, it's not bad. And then I get up, and I look at my bed, and there's just, like, a sack of, just a bloody, pussy mess on my pillow. I'm like, oh. Cool, that's done with, then. There's this freaking flap of skin in the back of my neck that was just there for so long. I think I peeled at that, and that was, like, really just thick, juicy skin. It was disgusting. Ugh. Just remembering that. Wow, that was gross. One of my friends, I mentioned this to my friend the other day. Or yesterday, last night, while we were playing Monster Hunter. And because I was talking about the sun and how it fucks me up. He's like, you have to have something wrong with you if it fucks you up this much. I'm like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But, yeah. And he brought that up. And I was like, and he was like, you should have used it as like a little, like a kangaroo pouch or something. You know, like something cool. And I was like, oh yeah, like a coin purse or something. You know, just fucking put coins, you know, put some quarters in the back of my neck. Oh, I need some change. And I got, we're shooting on almost got the high score Donkey Kong. Let me peel out, let me just squeeze my neck and deposit a quarter. It was gross. It was gross. And it's definitely probably the worst thing that has happened to me in terms of the sun and its existence around me. The sun has not liked me for a long time. And I don't get why. I don't understand why. You know, it is what it is. And, you know, sunscreen helps. I will say it. Like, the last year, all my walks to work have been fairly burnless, unless I forgot to put sunscreen on. And that's because I bought SPF, like, something or other. Like, at least 50 or I think like 65. And I applied the fuck out of it. Like, I overdosed my skin on sunscreen. Because if I just put like a thin, like a basic layer, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So I have to like practically like make myself even pastier white than I normally am, just to stay that way. Just like add an extra layer of skin. I should like do that glue thing, where you like pour glue on your hand and you let it dry and it's like an extra layer of skin. I should do that, and see if that helps with the sun. It probably just insulates my skin more. You know, it's kind of like a TV dinner when you put it in the microwave. Is that you peel back film? You just peel back the layer of the glue and you put it back and just leave your hand out in the window and just watch it crisp up. There's a little bubbly microwavey mess. But I don't know. I don't know. But the sunscreen was always something that was very hit or miss for me. Because even as a kid, I would like apply sunscreen regularly, and it would still burn my skin. To the point where we found the strongest sunscreen we could really find, and tried using that for me. It was SPF 100. And that didn't even really work. Like, I guess, to be fair, a lot of the times when we would go out, and I needed such high sunscreen, it was to like the beach or something. And every time I go to the beach, I don't really care for the sand. Like, the sand's fun until you're out of the beach and then you have to deal with all the grains in your ass and your clothes and your everywhere. It sucks. The one thing I always liked was the water, because water feels nice. And I can't swim, but I sure can just I would say lather, wade around in a pool, or in this situation, an ocean, a public pool, home to fishies. Yeah. Can I put this on there? I don't know how this works. I don't need to. But yeah. Needless to say, SPF 100 fucking sucked. It didn't work. I bought Banana Boat SPF 65 the other day, so hopefully that works for me. I'm gonna have to apply that before I go in, because I'm sure it's pretty crispy. It's pretty crispy weather right now. I go in like a couple hours, so I have plenty of time to fucking lather myself. You know, I should set up a bath, you know, like a bubble bath. It's just sunscreen. You just pour It's like those videos where like people like have like whole freaking bathtubs worth of slime or mashed potatoes or something. Like, I should do that, but with sunscreen. It's like it'll probably like permanently like increase the SPF of my skin. Like it'd probably like protect me for like months at least. You can either apply sunscreen once every morning before you go outside, or you could take this 30-minute bath in it and just really rub around every crevice and orifice, and then you're gonna be fine for at least 3 months. They should have that as an alternative for sunscreen. I feel like I feel like I would sign up for that. Cause dude, just freaking, it's nice. It's so refreshing too. It's like a nice cool liquid. It could be way worse. Sunscreen's pretty good. I don't hate sunscreen. I like the creams more than the sprays. The sprays really don't work. And one situation really pushed that in my brain. That sprays suck. And it was SPF 100 spray. By the way, nowhere in the world that I can find, at least in like a local store, sells SPF 100 cream. It's only sprays. I don't know if it's because it's so strong that the cream itself would just like really fuck up your skin or something. I don't know. But the sprays, the SPF 100 spray sucks. It just does. I don't know why, but for me it does. The other sprays never really stick on. They don't last. I rub them on, and it gets kind of like, it's like with the cream you have like a lot, and then you mix it around, you swirl it around, and then it kind of makes like a nice layer on your skin. When you spray it, there's not a lot of sun screening happening in the first place. So when you rub it around, you're just like, it's like you taking, like, it's like if it rained on your roof for like 5 minutes, and then you tried spreading all that water onto like as like a thin layer on your roof. Like it just doesn't work, because unless it was like really heavy rain, which for like a sunscreen, in terms of sunscreen spraying, it's not that heavy. So you don't get a full coating. You just wind up missing a bunch of parts, and then even then, the parts that do get hit, it evaporates so quickly that it's just like it's as if you didn't put anything on at all. But there was one time, it was like for a club event thing with me and one of my friends. We're going to the beach, and I had SPF 100 sunscreen, because I fucking needed it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to the beach, I'm kind of going to have to need the sunscreen. SPF 100, baby, let's go, woo! And we get there, and I put it on, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's been applied. This is great. I'm going to go into the water now. And I had some fun in the water. It was a good time. Had a great time with my friends. I always think it's just a friend. It was a club thing, but it was like a multi-school thing, and I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't really care to know anybody. But it was me and one of my friends. We just dicked around in the water for a while, and I hop out to like, just kind of like eat something, and just kind of chill, have a non-wet conversation with some people who happen to be there too. And when I get out of the water, after a few minutes of just sitting down on this bench eating some like fucking Cheetos or something, I noticed something. I look at my arms, and I'm like really peely and yellow. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with my skin? And I'm like looking at my skin, and it's not my skin. It's the sunscreen. The sunscreen like curdled onto my skin. Like I don't know if I just went into the water too soon, so it didn't stick properly to my skin or something. I don't understand. I was like going in the water for like 20-30 minutes maybe, and I come out, and like it's like someone just curdled cheese on my skin. It was disgusting. And like obviously it just didn't really help with the sun. So by the end of the day, I was still burnt all over the place. But it was just like I'm looking at my arm right now, and I'm visualizing that day, and I'm just thinking, how the hell did that even happen? Like it's supposed to be some of the best sunscreen you could buy. It's SPF 100, and it just curdled on my skin. It literally it just rejected me. It's like, no, you don't deserve it. You will burn to last a lifetime. And it's just stuck. By the way, I can't tan, but I can be red. You know, like when I get sunburnt, it tends to last a while. Like I get red for like a good while. Like it doesn't burn after like a week or two, tops. Like usually it goes away sooner than that. But if it's like a really bad burn, it takes like a week or two. But then I'd still end up just being red for like a month or a few. You know, just kind of my arms are just like they're not like the same pale as like my legs, just because of all the extra sun they've been getting. But it's mostly just because they're redder. They're not necessarily more tan. They're just redder than my legs are. Man, that was disgusting. And like I remember coming home and having to like peel that stuff off my neck and arms and stuff. Like, it was so disgusting. It was just like stuck on curdled just sunscreen. I don't know how that happens. 'Cause it's sunscreen. It's not supposed to do that. It was like a kidney transplant, and I was like my host body was rejecting it completely. It was just such a I'm assuming the water did that, which I think begs the question of why do people need water? Like why aren't there more like waterproof sunscreens? Because I feel like the main reason why I get burnt after going to like the beach, especially, or like even just going outside, is because of the water. Like when I go to the beach, I go in the water. When I'm outside anywhere else, I sweat like a madman, and the sweat probably just says bye bye sunscreen. So like, what's the point of wearing sunscreen when it's just gonna get washed away by whatever sort of moisture it can latch itself onto in the world? You know, like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And granted, my skin kind of makes it way crazier than it needs to be, but still, it's fucking stupid. It's crazy. I don't get it. I feel like there used to be like a waterproof sunscreen. Maybe I should just wear like those swimsuits. You know, like those not plastic, like rubber suits that like scuba divers wear. Just minus the gas tank and the mask and stuff. Like just like the skin pieces. I feel like that would be a great idea. Wouldn't have to worry about getting burnt. That's the thing. That's why I like wearing sweaters or just long sleeve shirts outside during like the hot weather. It sucks, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, I am not being burnt. So like, it's a matter of temporary sweaty. I hate being alive right now. Compared to, hey, this is great, except in a couple hours I'm gonna be on fire, and then it's gonna last for like a week. You know, it's like I'd rather just take in the sweat. You know, it's kind of just how it is. See, the sun could suck it. The sun can absolutely suck it, and I've tried giving it to the sun by just staring at it. That's what I'm referring to. I would just stare at the sun as a kid. Sometimes I still just kind of wind up looking at the sun, like accidentally on my walk to work. And then I'm like, hey, hold on, let me look at that again. And I guess start staring at it for like seconds at a time. And then just being like, it's just a lot. Then I'm always just like, hold on a second, what was that? And I just go back to looking at it. I like, stop, look, for like minutes until I'm eventually just, my thoughts get drowned out by whatever I'm listening to on the walk. But as a kid especially, I would just look at the sun a whole lot. So it was just like, hey, there's a sun up there. And I always get like those weird spots on my eyes, like kind of just weird colored like things. They're like, when I blink, they kind of look like a pinkish thing, but then like as I keep my eyes open, they kind of fade off to the left or right, and they like start getting greener. It was weird. I assume it's because I'm melting my fucking eyeballs. So don't do that. Like, I have a UV light. I think it was like $3 at like Hobby Lobby, and I was about to just shine down my eyes, but that's a bad idea. You don't want to do that. Oh my god, there's so many crumbs on my fucking carpet. Well, I know what I'm doing when I get home or when I'm done recording this. I'm vacuuming my fucking room. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the entire other floor isn't really that bad. It's just there in particular. Right by my... Wow, that's disgusting. I'm sorry to mention that. But moral of the story, sunglasses. Sunglasses are awesome. I have one pair of sunglasses that I bought from Ninja Sex Party, and I love them. They're awesome. I also wear a hat. I wear a hat. I don't care what type of weather it is. I'm wearing a hat just because I think they look nice, and it helps with my face burning. My hair protects my neck. My always wearing pants protects my legs, and sometimes my arms have to suffer if I don't want to be a sweating mess. But sunscreen, combined with a long-ish sleeves, not like long, like all the way to my things, but sometimes I'll just wear I'll full roll them up or whatever. So, moral of the story: don't let the sun touch you. How about that? That's a good story. Don't let the sun touch you. Cover yourself up. Prevent, skin cancer sucks. I don't have it, presumably. But you never know. I might develop it because of all this stupid sun that's been burning my skin for the past years of my life. Don't let it take you too. That's the last thing that anyone needs, is for anyone else to get eaten by the sun. The world's already coming to that. Last thing we need is for you to get eaten by the sun. Yeah. Just cover up. Or don't. I mean, it's up to you. Just pretty. I'm sure sunscreen works for every other human being on the planet. So just, as long as you use it, you'll be fine, probably. I don't know. I don't understand how the sun works. I just know it hurts. Hurts me, anyway. For those of you who can just chill in the sun, I wish. Oh, I wish. But yeah, that's about all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in to Stranded Deep in Conversation. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Ta-ta!